Now imagine this for a moment. No music, no phone, no talking, no background noise, just silence. At first, it sounds peaceful, calm, almost relaxing. But then something strange happens. Your mind starts to feel uncomfortable. Thoughts get louder. Your body feels restless. You suddenly want to reach for your phone, turn on music, or hear any sound at all. This reaction isn't weakness, boredom, or lack of discipline. It's biology. Your brain literally hates silence, and the reason why reveals something unsettling about how your mind actually works. From the moment you are born, your brain is trained to live in noise. The sound of breathing, voices, movement, danger, safety. Sound is information. For millions of years, silence often meant only one thing: threat. In nature, silence usually occurred right before something bad happened. Predators went quiet before attacking. Forests went silent before danger appeared. So your brain evolved to treat silence not as peace, but as a warning sign. Even today, that ancient wiring still controls you. When you sit in silence, your brain doesn't rest. It does the opposite. It switches into scanning mode. The default mode network of your brain becomes active. This network is responsible for self-reflection, memory replay, future anxiety, and emotional processing. In silence, your brain has nothing external to focus on, so it turns inward. That's when old memories resurface. Regrets replay. Fears grow louder. Unfinished thoughts demand attention. Silence removes distraction, and distraction is what modern humans use to avoid themselves. Studies show that when people are left alone in a quiet room with no stimulation, most feel discomfort within minutes. In one famous experiment, participants were asked to sit alone in silence for 15 minutes. Many found it so uncomfortable that they preferred giving themselves mild electric shocks rather than staying with their thoughts. Think about that. The brain would rather experience physical pain than sit quietly with itself. Silence exposes the noise inside you. The constant mental chatter you usually drown out with podcasts, music, scrolling, conversations, or TV suddenly becomes impossible to ignore. Your brain starts generating thoughts faster, louder, and more emotionally charged. This isn't because silence creates thoughts, it reveals them. Your mind was never quiet to begin with. Another reason your brain hates silence is dopamine. Every sound, notification, conversation, and background noise provides tiny dopamine hits. Silence removes those rewards. When dopamine drops, the brain feels unease. This is similar to withdrawal. That's why silence can feel boring, heavy, or even anxiety-inducing. Your brain isn't relaxed, it's deprived of stimulation it has grown addicted to. Neuroscientists have found that constant noise conditions the brain to expect input. When that input disappears, the brain struggles to regulate itself. Heart rate may change. Breathing becomes shallow. Muscles tense slightly. You may feel the urge to move, cough, fidget, or check something. These are not habits, they're coping mechanisms. But here's where it gets interesting. While your brain hates silence at first, something powerful happens if you stay in it long enough. After the discomfort peak, the brain begins to recalibrate. Stress hormones slowly drop. Neural activity Studies show that periods of silence can stimulate brain cell growth in the hippocampus, the area responsible for memory and emotional regulation. Silence, over time, becomes medicine. Monks, meditators, and spiritual practitioners across cultures discovered this long before science did. They understood that silence isn't empty, it's confrontational. It forces the brain to process unresolved thoughts instead of running from them. That's why silence feels heavy. You're not bored, you're facing yourself. Modern life has made silence rare. Even bathrooms have music, cars have radio, bedrooms have background noise. We've trained our brains to fear quiet because quiet removes control. In silence, you can't escape your inner world. That's terrifying for a brain addicted to distraction. What happens if you sit in silence regularly is even more fascinating. At first, anxiety may increase. Then awareness sharpens. Emotional clarity improves. Creativity rises. People report stronger intuition, better decision-making, and deeper self-understanding. Silence doesn't make you weak, it makes you honest. Brain scans show that people who practice intentional silence or meditation have stronger connections between emotional control centers and logical reasoning areas. In simple words, silence trains your brain to sit with discomfort without reacting. That skill alone changes how you handle stress, conflict, fear, and uncertainty in daily life. Silence also resets your sensory system. Sounds become sharper afterward. Music feels richer. Conversations feel more meaningful. Your brain becomes less reactive and more selective. You stop craving constant stimulation because your mind learns it doesn't need it to survive. The reason silence feels so uncomfortable today is not because it's harmful, but because it's unfamiliar. Your brain hasn't practiced it, and like any untrained muscle, it resists. So the next time you feel the urge to fill silence with noise, understand what's happening. Your brain isn't bored. It's uncomfortable with awareness. And that discomfort is the doorway to clarity. If this video made you see silence differently, if it made you realize how much noise controls your thoughts, emotions, and habits, then this channel is for you. We break down the hidden psychology behind everyday behaviors so you can understand your mind instead of being controlled by it. Subscribe Mindflip for you now, because the most powerful changes don't start with noise, they start with awareness.